Hey guys, what's up? So I want to go over hurdle flexibility. And I've had a lot of people ask me what are some great hurdle flexibility drills. And I want to go over them today. So for those that don't know me, my name is Fallon Headings. I'm a physical therapist and a track and field coach. So let's get started. Hurdles. So I could sit here and go over the common hurdle drills that I'm sure you've seen multiple and numerous times, but instead I want to give you 3 areas of your body to focus on when doing any drills, flexibility or mobility related, during your training program. Because people can do all those drills that are on YouTube and on Instagram, and they are great drills. I use them all the time, but you really have to understand what your body is supposed to feel to get the most out of the drill. So I always say our body finds ways to compensate. So if you have terrible hamstring mobility or hamstring length, your body will find a different way, either your low back, which is probably the most common, or other areas of your body to not move into that new range if it doesn't want to. So that's crucial. And that's why I'm kind of going to go over these 3 areas to think about. And I want you to feel kind of the stretch or being able to mobilize these areas of your body when you're doing drills, so you can get the most out of all your drills. I hope that makes sense to everybody, and if it doesn't, please let me know. So the first thing, and here's my awesome stick figure hurdler. I hope he looks pretty cool because I thought he did. But it's hamstring mobility. So you can see this, your lead leg, your front leg, needs to be straight at one point or another, and your body has a forward lean to it. So that is going to put the hamstring on as much tension as it probably can handle. And that's why I think a lot of hurdlers have hamstring problems, is because they get in these new ranges and they can't control it. So the really important thing is having good hamstring mobility. So an easy way to test your hamstring length is actually laying on your back and with your leg completely straight, bring it up as high as you can. And if you get to about 70 to 90 degrees, you're probably okay. So you have to want to make sure that you have the mobility, but then you have to make sure that you have the control to bring the leg down on the other side without hurting the hamstring. So when you're doing your hurdle mobility drills, you really want to make sure that you're working on your hamstring. You should be able to feel it in the backside of your hamstring. The next thing that hurdlers need is a lot of rotation in their hips. So to be able to get the trail leg in the proper position without you rotating your upper trunk to get out of the hip rotation, you need good hip rotation to keep your trunk facing forward. So that's another really crucial area to make sure you're working on, is your hip rotation. And when you're working on drills, the biggest compensation, if you don't have good rotation in your hips, is you're gonna just continue to rotate with your trunk. So you wanna make sure your trunk stays forward, but your hips rotate. And that's where you need to make sure you're working on your hip rotation mobility and things like that. The last thing, which is something I feel like a lot of runners commonly miss, is actually shoulder mobility. So runners don't really understand how much extension they need coming back this way. And I take a lot of my athletes and say, your arm needs to be this far back, and I'll move their arm back in that position, and they go, oh, like that doesn't feel good. Like they've never been in that position before. So that's another crucial area that you can work on to make sure as you're running and as you're going over the hurdle that this arm can have its full mobility to bring the momentum forward again. So those are my 3 big areas that I think you should work on, your mobility and flexibility. You can find 1,000,001 drills on how to work on these things, more specific to hurdlers, as well as just general hamstring stretches, general hip rotation and shoulder mobility stretches as well. So you want a little bit of both, and then you don't want to just stretch and get more movement. You have to be able to then control that new movement that you just got. So those are some key things with flexibility with our hurdlers. If you guys have any questions, put it in the comment section or send me a message, and subscribe to my videos, like them, and share them around. Thanks.